My name's Astarion.
Astarion is more than just a charming vampire with a tragic past. He is a survivor, a man who has spent 2 centuries as a puppet, forced to obey the cruel whims of his master Cazador. But now, for the first time in 200 years, Astarion is free. Or is he? In Baldur's Gate 3, his story is one of survival, vengeance, and the struggle to define who he truly is. Without guidance, he risked becoming exactly what he once despised. But with Tav's influence, he has the chance to break the cycle of cruelty and reclaim his humanity. Or embrace the darkness entirely.
No healing sleep for you! Wake up!
Astarion's story begins long before we meet him. For 2 centuries, he was a slave to Cazador, stripped of anonymity and forced to lure victims to their deaths. He endured centuries of torment, unable to resist, unable to run. His survival instincts were sharpened through fear, his charm as a weapon honed over the decades of deception.
The runes I carved into your flesh bind you and all 7,000 souls to the ritual. Complete it, and those bearing the scars will be sacrificed, you included. You are simply a means to an end. I made you to be consumed.
I am so much more than what you made me. I can do this, but I need your help.
And yet, despite all he has suffered, Astarion never lost his hunger for freedom. He refuses to be weak ever again. That need to never be powerless drives so many of his choices. But there's a danger in that, because when you've been powerless for so long, the moment you even get a taste of control, it's easy to become the very thing you once hated. Astarion is presented with a choice. Will he reclaim his agency by destroying Cazador and living as his own person? Or will he seize some dark power that was once used against him? This is the heart of Astarion's dilemma. Freedom is intoxicating, but without self-restraint, it can lead to corruption. And this is where Tav comes in. Tav has the power to guide Astarion towards something he has never had before. True choice. Without Tav, he is set adrift, latching onto power as the only thing that can protect him. But with Tav's influence, he can begin to understand that power isn't the same as freedom. For Astarion, Tav represents something he has never truly known: kindness without expectation. For centuries, every relationship he had was transactional. Charm them, lure them, feed, repeat. But Tav doesn't demand anything from him. They offer him trust, companionship, even love. And for Astarion, that's terrifying.
Perfect.
This moment is crucial. Astarion's story isn't just about revenge. It's about reclaiming his own sense of self-worth. Through Tav, he learns that he doesn't have to use seduction as a shield. He can be wanted for who he is, not just what he can offer. This is why Astarion's arc is one of the most compelling in Baldur's Gate 3. It's not just about breaking chains. It's about healing. But that healing isn't guaranteed, and he can just as easily spiral into vengeance, embracing cruelty as a means of control, and that brings us to the most pivotal choice in his story. This is why Astarion's arc is one of the most compelling in Baldur's Gate 3. It's not just about breaking chains. It's about healing. But that healing isn't guaranteed. He can just as easily spiral into vengeance, embracing cruelty as a means of control. And that brings us to the most pivotal part of his story. When Astarion finally confronts Cazador, he has a choice. He can break the cycle, or he can complete it. He can kill his master and walk away, freeing himself and his fellow spawn. Or he can carve his own ascension, drinking Cazador's power and becoming something far worse. The reflection of everything Astarion has endured. It is the moment that he decides that he will be free, or rather, he will become the very thing that enslaved him. And once again, Tav plays a crucial role. If Tav encourages him to take Cazador's place, it cements Astarion's descent into darkness. But if they show him another way, he can step away from the ritual, proving that he is not defined by his past. In the end, Astarion's story is one of survival, but survival alone is not enough. He must decide what kind of existence he wants to live. Will he embrace his darkness and become a tyrant, or will he walk a new path? One that is terrifying in its uncertainty, but filled with potential for something real? His story is a reminder that trauma does not define us, but how we respond to it does. And sometimes the hardest thing for a survivor to do isn't fighting back. It's learning how to truly live. Astarion's journey is one of the most dynamic and emotionally charged in Baldur's Gate 3. Whether he becomes a monster or breaks the cycle is up to the player, but no matter which path he takes, his story lingers. A tale of pain, power, and the choices that shape who we become. What choice did you make for Astarion? Did he break free, or did he seize power? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into Astarion's story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join me for more adventures on Pixel and Plot.
And we're going to have a lot of fun.